Goat Karhai is both delicious and easy to make, especially when you make it in a pressure cooker, so let me show you how I make mine. We're going to use 3 pounds of mixed goat meat, and we'll start off by marinating it all with 1 packet of Shan Karhai masala and garlic and ginger paste. We'll mix that all together really well and let that marinate for about 2 hours. After 2 hours, we'll heat up about a cup of oil in our pressure cooker, which is set to high heat on sauté mode, and add in our meat. We want to cook the meat just enough that there's no rawness left and we have a light sear all over. Then we'll add in some julienne ginger and we'll mix that all in and let it cook until the ginger all seems softened. Then we're going to add in enough water that all the meat is pretty much submerged so that it all cooks evenly. I'm using a 6-quart Instant Pot, and for me that was about 3.5 to 4 cups of water. We'll set our meat to cook then for 30 minutes on high pressure, making sure to set our valve to the sealed position. After it's finished, we'll release the pressure. The meat should hold its shape when you handle it, but should easily break apart when applying pressure with your fingers. If it's not quite tender, you can either pressure cook it for 5 to 10 minutes more or turn your pressure cooker to sauté mode and let that cook on high heat until the meat is tender. In a separate pan, we're going to heat up about half a cup of oil and fry up our diced tomatoes. We'll let those cook until they're softened. I made this karhai in 2 parts in 2 days, so I've transferred over my meat mix to a pot since that was easier to store, but you can continue making your karhai in the pressure cooker on sauté mode. Once the tomatoes are softened, I'm going to transfer them over to the meat mix and stir them in thoroughly. Once everything's incorporated, if your karhai is very watery as mine is, you can remove the meat so that it doesn't overcook and let the gravy cook down on high heat to remove that excess water, which is what I end up doing. This is something you can do for any salad. If you don't like how runny the gravy is, just make sure you do take out any meat so that it still remains juicy and tender. Once the gravy is at the consistency you like, add back your meat and mix it all together for a few minutes until everything is uniformly incorporated. You should be left with an almost 1-to-1 ratio between the meat and gravy in a nice warm brown color. Once the karhai is at this point, we'll turn off our heat and dish it into our serving dish. Here we'll garnish the karhai with cilantro and thinly sliced serrano peppers. You can also use jalapenos, but I feel like serrano peppers consistently add a little extra spice and rich flavor, while jalapenos don't always have much spice to them. After that, your karhai should be ready to serve with some hot naan.